Hello everyone, Strategy Taste here, and today we are back on Europa Universalis 4. And for the title of the video that you've seen, today we are going to talk about quality ideas and military ideas in general. So, in this game, ideas are one of its fundamentals. Ideas are basically what are game changing for the most part. So, I am now playing as Brandenburg, and every game, even Brandenburg, every nation in this game, has an own set of ideas. For example, Pomerania has its own set of ideas. England has its own set of ideas. Well, it's called traditions here because, as you can see, actually the ideas, these are called the traditions, and every nation at the end of getting these ideas here gets a bonus. A bonus idea, in which in this case is Prussian ideas with 5% more discipline. But there has been some arguing in the past, in all of history of European Universalis 4 about quality ideas. So basically, it's always been the argument quality versus quantity, and so far, quantity has always won. But here, today, we are not going to talk about quality versus quantity because that's already been talked about in the future too much, in my opinion. Today, we're going to talk about a serious question about quality ideas itself and defensive and offensive ideas. So, I wanted to make this video about telling quality versus quantity. That's what I began thinking about. But then, with some experts of the game, they actually said that quality shouldn't really be classified as quality ideas. The name should be changed, as basically this idea group is probably only famous just for its name and not for its actual things. And there's some good things here, such as discipline plus 5% and infantry combatability plus 10%. Even the Yellow Army tradition, some may say, ooh, it's really good, but honestly, Yellow Army tradition, having such, you probably aren't really to benefit a lot from just this. And, well, these four things here: carry compatibility, blah. The shape durability, blah. More of navies is actually good for navies, but in this game, I think that the quality of ships isn't really too much of importance overall. Quantity in sea is probably better. I mean, there's some scenarios like England versus other navies, because England has one of the best set of ideas for navy. But other than that, other than some really let's say close scenarios, some really rare scenarios, ships here are basically like land. Quantity wins over quality. Because even if you have thousands of ships with quality, billions of ships that aren't as much as your thousands of ships with quality, well, the billions will win, and that's just it. But today, videos is not about that too much. Today's video is about how should this idea group be changed to what is the true name of quality, because clearly, other than his first idea, his last idea, and the bonus idea, the other stuff isn't good. I admit. Cavalry, really army tradition, meh. all the three things here are just bleh. This is not a quality ideas. In my opinion, offensive and defensive is about that. I would think that they are to be called quality ideas. Yes, but in my opinion, offensive ideas should be called quality ideas. At least if it's in the current state. Of course, there should be some other things here that, if changed to quality ideas, should be changed. But in my opinion, quality ideas is only as famous as it is right now, only because it's called quality. And you know, people say, "Oh, quality. Well, if it's quality, then I should get some." And that's why. I mean, when there's the topic about quality versus quantity, they always say, "Oh, innovative ideas plus quality ideas give the modern firearm techniques infantry compatibility plus 20%, which is arguably amazing, but that that's just a policy. And even innovative is innovative if well, it's been powered up in the last patch. Also, I don't have it now because I don't have the Rule Britannia DLC, but also Innovative gets innovativeness, which is makes sense. And innovativeness is very hard to obtain, in my opinion. I mean, I don't have it now, but I've played with Rule Britannia, and innovativeness normally is hard to obtain, but the bonus that it gives are like minus 5% power cost, plus one army tradition, plus one navy tradition, and other bonuses, at least at the maximum. And with innovative ideas, I actually really liked how well how to play in a nice style, and yeah, I really like how innovativeness with innovative ideas is really good. At least if you have Rule Britannia. But for most people, getting innovative without Rule Britannia is good only in certain situations like Muscovy, Asian nations, African nations, and well, Oceania. Basically, what's not Europe or what's far from where the institutions are going to spawn from. In my opinion, better administrative ideas, probably expansion if you want to expand. Economic is really good. Religious is, in my opinion, really good in the game. Humanist, they're probably an idea group just for certain situations. I usually don't really even get humanists, but if, for example, as odds, humanist ideas are really good. Even as Muscovy, sometimes really good. Yeah, and that's for administrative ideas. Just to close a little parallel. But returning to the military ideas, all of this quality ideas is not as quality. Looking at defensive ideas, Uni Army tradition, which is the same as quality education from quality, military drill, moral of armies, which moral isn't as important as discipline, but it's really good in my opinion. Land Leader maneuver, it's instead of having just +1 army tradition, which increases the chance to have more peace to your generals. This is land leader maneuver is a certain peep for your general. Land maintenance modifier -5% is also very good. Fort maintenance -10% and fort defense +20%. Alone, this bonus, fort maintenance -10%, may really save you a lot of tactics on the late game, but even on the early game, it's honestly very good if you are well on the defensive side on some fronts. And also fort defense, basically fort defense in this game works like we have a fort, there's a siege currently at the fort. Basically, fort defense decreases the chance of well, making bridges into the fort, I think. That's not really something that in the wiki, but for defense, it's good to counterattack siegeability. If there's less siegeability, the siege progress is altered. So the more fort defense you have, the less time, the more time that the enemy will take to occupy the fort. So siegeability and fort defense are something that are counterattacking each other. Then moving on to defensive ideas, supply to reinforce speed plus 33%. I believe it's something like that here on no, it's not here, but a reinforced speed is what basically after a battle, after a battle of a land attrition, it's whenever it takes to reinforce your army. So, for example, if in a battle, a regiment takes some losses, like for example, this regiment I took here takes 500 losses. I basically every month it will get the amount of troops that it's needed, but with reinforced speed it's actually faster. So basically, if for example there needs 500 troops, with reinforced speeds, instead of normally having 250 troops, you will have more. So that's I think a great thing about reinforced speed. So at the end of the day, there's land attrition, and land attrition is one of many factors that your armies are going to attack. So for example, in a fort, whatever the terrain is, you will always, and I say always, get -1, actually 1 to attrition, 1 point of attrition. So getting land attrition minus 25%, you will halve that percentage by 25%. So that is pretty good. And actually, here at the end, attrition for enemies +1 in all of your provinces. So basically, normally an enemy that enters in your realm will not get any penalty to attrition if not on certain terrains like in winter or mountain or things like that. But with defensive ideas, no matter what the terrain is, your enemy will lose troops for attrition. And if on a fort, instead of having just one attrition point, you will have 2 attrition points. And basically, if you have also a fort on a mountain provinces, on a mountainous provinces, the enemy will take a serious number of losses by just attrition and just by ideas. And that's just for defensive ideas. And now let's go to offensive ideas, which is a very good idea instead of having quality idea in your set for military ideas. Yeah, and also, just taking this, I'm not counting aristocratic ideas and plutocratic ideas because they're like hybrid ideas. They are, in some situations, very good, like for hordes and for Poland, maybe. Aristocratic ideas are very good. Plutocratic ideas for republics are just amazing. Plutocratic ideas, uh, probably one of the best military ideas in the sets that you can get. They are really good for republics. But turning on to offensive, basically offensive has land leader shock +1, so a pip, just a certain pip is gained, so you won't ever fall this. The recruitment time -10% is okay, not good. Land leader fire, very good since there's a certain peep. Pressure from land battles, it's very good in my opinion if you are a very offensive nation, as the idea suggests. Because prestige is actually very easy to obtain if you go to war many times, and as you can see, the effects from prestige are various and are honestly very good. It improves morale, global trade power, it improves mercenary cost, legitimacy, and aggressive expansion impact, as well as institution embracement cost, which are very good modifiers. So having an high prestige is very good, and getting this is also good. The siegeability is amazing for getting enforced 20% faster. Land force limit modifier. So this is kind of hybrid, and in my opinion, this is very good because it also adds up to your land force limit modifier and the 5% discipline, since discipline is by the most players, the most important factor in all of the military and war system of the game, and also recovery, army, morale, speed. Basically, what this does is your morale after a battle or a defeat will improve faster. And in my opinion, offensive ideas and defensive ideas are both really good and are both better than quality ideas. In my opinion, quality ideas aren't actually going to shouldn't really be called quality. They are not good in my opinion currently. Maybe with the next patch Emperor will be adding more things to quality ideas. But I wouldn't even say that naval is the only thing worse to quality, because naval is what it does. You say, oh, naval is just bad. Well, yeah, it's bad for a land army, but actually, if you look at the modifier, it's amazing for your navy, which is the only thing it cares about. So it's like saying that a thing that doesn't even consider about army should be better. It's like saying that a ship in a land battle is useless. Well, yes, it's useless, but in a naval battle, your army won't do anything against another ship. So if you look at the modifier at naval, they are actually very good. Like, more of navies and global naval engagements are good things. Heavy ship combat ability, amazing. Sailors recovery speed, amazing. That's like manpower for ships. Even if you are not really going to have problems with sailors for most of the game, in my opinion, in Navy tradition, never lit a fire plus 1 MR hit when losing a ship is amazing. The galley combat ability may be good only in the Mediterranean for the most part and the Baltic Sea, but it's in the game it's really useful. And well, as you can see, there's never lit a fire and never lit a shock, which is, like I said, in offensive, those two pips are certain. Even if you have the yearly Navy traditions, it increases your chances, but chances are chances, so they are not certain. While having these two pips is a certain thing about naval ideas, and actually some policies are amazing, like getting economic ideas with the Transportation Act is fantastic, or with influence, it really boosts your mercantilism, well, your trade, and overall an amazing ideas. And also, if you look at the last policy, fortified training post, the ship trade power goes to plus 14% and light ship cost minus 10%, which, for example, light ship cost means that it will cost less to recruit to build a ship, but it will also cost less to maintain them. So the policy with trade is amazing for naval ideas. And aristocratic ideas, even though they are not good for your military itself, the monetary autonomy change, the absolutism, the national manpower modifier, these two modifiers, and the little siege plus the 10% nobility monthly loyalty. It's not, it's a hybrid military group. It has some very good things in it, but that are not on the military side of things. And plutocratic is fantastic. So my thesis is that basically quality is not quality. That's just it. That's just a fact. Quantity is still better than quality. Defensive and offensive ideas are both better than quality. Naval ideas shouldn't really be put in like a thesis of which one makes your army better, because there's no best to your army, there's best to your navy and to your admiral. And aristocratic ideas and plutocratic ideas are hybrid groups which, for the most part, don't even boost your army that much. They boost other things which are probably related to your army, but they are not on the army itself. So, in the military ideas group, only 4 truly are on your army, and those 4 are this one that I'm seeing here. So, that's it. If you have a bad group like quality, then, in my opinion, you should get defensive and offensive. And also, another thing that basically no one says is that there's like problems with there's like events that pop up, which, for example, if you have offensive ideas, there's events that pop up malus to your defensive capability. But if you get both offensive and defensive, the events that get malus actually go off, and that is the same thing as quality with quantity. Quantity ideas give the option to pop up events that increase your malus for quality. So if you get quality, that just vice versa. So if you get them both, the events won't even pop up. So what that basically means, if there's an event that basically I don't know, removes your manpower, removes part of your own manpower, just because you had quality, if you get quantity too, that the chances that the event will pop up will disappear. The same thing with offensive and defensive. There's some there's some events with aristocratic and plutocratic. So in my opinion, if in your game are going to change from monarchy or to republic, or vice versa, you basically are going to want, maybe, if you really want, to get plutocratic, because plutocratic are arguably one of the best military ideas in this game. If you look at them, plutocratic, well, actually you can, I am going to show you them, because they are just amazing. I think Republic, is there a Republic here in this game at the beginning? Maybe Hamburg, tag ham. So, okay. Oh yeah, plutocratic ideas. As you can see, available mercenaries plus 10% and mercenary discipline. Well, actually, this might be changed with the new patch, but moral armies, national unrest, merchants plus 1, goods produced modifier plus 10%. Actually, some patches ago it was 20%, which was even more powerful. The caravan power plus 25%, the manpower recovery speed plus 20%, and institution spread and Bargus monthly loyalty plus 10% make plutocratic amazing. And if you look at the policy, there's amazing things such as with the trade ideas, merchant plus 1 and regiment cost plus 10%. If you go at espionage ideas, national manpower modifier plus 13%. If you go on even expansion is good, yeah. And well, with this you can also get with the economic ideas, the formalized scales, weights, and measures, national tax modifier plus 10%, and really Republican tradition, that is probably the best one because you are going to struggle with Republican tradition, probably. And if you get Republican tradition, most Republican tradition allows your, well, president or burgomaster in this instance to be re-elected, and every time you re-elect your president or burgomaster, you are going to get better stats. So, for example, normally you will get a candidate which is 4 in one of the categories, of the 3 categories, and the other 2 types are going to be 1-1. But if you re-elect him, it will be like if you pick a military president, it will be 1-1-5. Well, actually 1-1-4. But if you re-elect him, it will be 5 military skill and 2 administrative skill and 2 diplomatic skill. So that is just very good as for the plutocratic idea. And well, there's, yeah, as you can see with I just saw that with Hamburg you can actually go to plus 0.50 yearly Republican tradition. So yeah, I just discovered that Hamburg is a really good republic capability. But anyway, that's just something that I want to talk about, saying that plutocratic is very good. So that's the thesis of my video today, and I hope that Paradox changes the quality ideas with the next patch, because they are really weak in my opinion. In my opinion, just remove these 3 ships, well, navy ideas, because they shouldn't really be here. There's naval ideas, even if you get quality, and even if you get naval, even with just naval, you can conquer the world with your navy, so it's useless. Why would you ever get this? It's not, and they're not even good. Naval attrition, who ever cares? Moral values, navies is okay. Ship durability, why? And that's just why. Just what, in my opinion, will really make quality better. Give quality, more things to the actual army, more things to your quality of the actual gameplay. Because right now they're not good. Their policies are good, but they don't really make up with the standard of what should be quality ideas. And so for today's videos is enough. There will be a new video coming soon about a new game I'm going to talk about. Well, it's not really a new game that has been out recently. It's been out for actually 10 years, and it's StarCraft 2. Yeah, because StarCraft, if you really know, it's a strategy game, and actually it's more of a tactical game, but still there's some aspects of that game that are really amazing, and I want to talk about them. So in the future you'll see some StarCraft videos, and as for the next Total War Amateur video, I'm going to talk about, well, mistakes that some people make, and I'm maybe going to talk about the next patch of for Total War Amateur, and for Europa Universalis 4, I'm going to talk also about new mistakes such as having different armies for every promises. I've seen that be done by various new players, and I'm going to give some tips about this game. So anyway, this is enough for today's videos, and I hope you enjoyed this, even if I maybe was too long to talk about all of the different idea group, since there are so many and the game is actually huge. So enough. I hope you enjoyed. Well, I mean, if you really like the video, like, and if you really want, you can subscribe too. So from Berlin, from Brandenburg, is everything. Bye bye.